Day 71 of the cut, back at the realm, and I swear we didn't plan to match shirts. It all just kind of happened, and I'm kind of wishing I had picked something else today, just because I don't want to match Darrell. But down to 252 this morning, which I'm freaking stoked on, because that means we are in new territory as far as this round of the cut goes. Like, I shut the last one down around 253, 254, and I'm kind of feeling similar to where I did when I did shut the last one down, which means that I'm really not looking forward to today's main bench, because we're feeling a little bit sluggish, a little bit but you know what that means. We just gotta dig in and make the best out of it. And what I'm thinking is, after not being thrilled with the Kabuki Cadillac bar experience last Monday, they got this little neat multi-bar doohickey from Squat Rex Canada that actually went out of business, but I want to give this a whirl and see if it does any better than the Kabuki version. And what I'm thinking is, with the less rattly bar than last week, plus appropriate rack height, should be able to beat the 2 1/4 we did in Vegas. Holy shit, I got the bench pretty straight first go.
Look at you.
Yeah.
I can only hope actually GH instead of Excellent today at one point. But this feels like everything
And
is so
benching with Tyler again today. Not going to mic him up, just so I don't have to edit this vlog as extensively as the last time. And it's a very sad day, because the gold plates are all hidden behind the chrome plates, so I guess we're benching with the chromey boys. I'm living in perpetual fear of smacking my head on the bar when I get under it. Also, this bench is a little bit low, but after last week on the Arsenal that was like 6 inches high, I'd much rather take low than high. Woo! Yep. Careful!
Woo. I'm gonna set up over that after.
Can't bring Tyler anywhere. First one felt good enough that I want to go 2, but also gonna accommodate for Tyler's very long ass arms with the quarter jump.
You forgot weak.
Hmm?
You forgot weak.
I'm trying to be nice to you. The internet can think that the problem is just leverages and not strength. Preliminary review. This bar, much nicer to press with than the Kabuki, because my hands are actually like connected to the plates. Gonna get behind him just in case he craters himself again. Tighter, more torque. Sweet. And I think like you'll be able to tell how I'm feeling by how many reps I do on this set, because if it feels really good, I'll probably do less reps so that I can afford to go up. If it feels not very good, I'll probably do more reps and kind of turn it into a work set. We're going up. Okay, let's go. Big pull, big torque. Good. Yep. I'm unsure of where to spot on this thing.
I know.
It's like, where do I put my hands? I think like this will,
guessing
yeah,
there,
probably there,
maybe
probably there. Middle one's sketchy. 2 1/4. Might be able to go straight to 3. Miana's told me like 7 times she's going for 3 to 4 reps, so hopefully I can count that high.
4.
Let's go.
Yep.
Good. Good. Big torque. Yup. Spread, spread, spread. Come on, triceps. Big squeeze, big squeeze. Nice work.
Woo.
This side was like below the J hook and I almost didn't notice.
Yeah, that was scary.
Whoopsie. Liquid chalk on so I don't dirty up the pretty clean gym, but Tyler was just asking if this bar weighs 45 pounds, and the truth is, no freaking clue, but I'm going to pretend it does just so I feel good about myself. Unless the bar's heavier, because if the bar's heavier, I want those bonus pounds. Always cheating in my favor.
Let's go.
Yep, chest hold, chest hold. Yep. Yep, yep.
Hell yeah.
Either that bar is like 15 pounds or I'm actually doing okay today. Tyler just pointed out that there's another one of these over here and like feels decently heavy just holding it. Then I go to pick this guy up and it's like, no, it's not decently heavy. And I'm gonna go Tyler mode and run a cute jump just so things don't get too out of hand. Because on that last one, I got the tiniest bit of weirdness in my non-surgically reattached pec. So gonna be a little bit cautious with this one. Probably just take a single unless it feels really, really good. Oh. Pec weirdness came back.
Fair enough.
We're not lowering that down.
Smart call.
Yep. Or would it be smarter to rip it all the way off so you get it reattached?
I don't want to deal with that again.
And obviously, I don't want to be like, yay, my pec hurts. But at the same time, I've had these little snags happen often enough through my career that I know that if I am proactive, they're really not going to be a big deal. And I think like the thing right now that I can do is show you guys the stuff that I'm doing to be proactive about it. Because if I can show it to you and you can see how quickly something that doesn't feel very good can bounce back, you can realize that when you have stuff like this pop up in your training, that you can bounce back from it very, very, very easily. And I think like one of the cooler things I've been able to do with Team Activated is a lot of guys hop in there because they have something like this pop up and they're freaked out and they don't know what to do and they think it's going to be the end of their career or the prep's ruined and everything's in the shitter. But what we're able to do is just get them being proactive and get them doing the right thing so that the thing can work again better for them. So if you guys feel like you're stuck or if you want to have a little bit of a safety blanket of idea to figure out what to do if shit does hit the fan, hit the link below, join the team, and we will be able to help you out. And on that note, I'm going to go do some productive stuff for this pecorino, which isn't going to be a machine biceps curl. And I'm thinking the plan to make this work in my favor is to start light, run a bunch of reps to make sure the pec doesn't feel too snaggly. And then if it feels good to go after we run a bunch of reps, then we might dig in and push a little bit harder. Considering I've never used this thing, I have no idea what to expect, but let's have an adventure. Hey, Joel's here. Pec feels not the greatest, but totally manageable, so we'll squeeze her out. I wish I was holding my camera so I could point at Joel when he has his shirt off. Maybe he'll grace us by walking in the frame naked. That's your cue to walk in the frame naked. No, you don't want to? Damn it. You guys are missing out, trust me. I mean, it's light, but I think the machine gets a positive review so far. Gonna leave it here and try jacking the seat up a couple holes to see if I can get a little bit better feel. But knowing that I have like the one side that has been repaired and I have the other side that has been torn and never got fixed, like part of me sometimes wishes that I could just, like rip the other side off and just get it fixed, because the left side feels so much freaking better all the time than the right side, other than when it comes time to be really strong. But like knowing how reliable the left has been after the surgery, like part of me is just like, maybe I should just rip the right one off. But the other part's like, I don't want to go through that shit again. So we're just gonna work with it and get a nice squeezy squeeze pump, make it feel good. Still like a little bit sharp on like right there on the concentric, but it's getting better as we go. That feels actually good now. Like we're chugging. Zero ouch, zero boo boo. Giant pump, which is starting to creep in on the ouch and the boo boo, but yeah. Do one more there. And that one felt good enough that I think will be not super aggressive and toss quarter on. Little bit nervous to push on this first rep, but oh yeah, we're more than fine. And I think like if you have like a little twinge, a little weirdness in a muscle, obviously we don't want to try to rip the sucker off unless we're trying to do what I was joking about in the last segment. But I think one of the most important things you can do is just give light work to the area, try to desensitize it, show yourself that it is okay. Because a lot of times with those little twinges, they hurt way more than they need to because your body is trying to protect itself. And if we can show ourselves that the thing can still work and still be used, we can begin to make ourselves feel less pain when we're using it as we learn to trust it more and more and more. And this is probably the best feeling set on this machine that I've done so far. Oh, that's getting dirty. Ran out of words to say just in the nick of time to reach pretty much failure. Gonna try the incline mabobber next, but I think there's gonna be like the inevitable criticism because every time I experience pain, no matter how minor, there's people that are like, oh, you're supposed to be good at rehab. You should never get hurt. And like, in a way, I kind of do, somewhat agree with that because I am doing a lot of things to like be proactive in trying to mitigate injury risk. But the thing is that like, bottom line today, I just shouldn't have loaded that bar as much as I did, considering it's the first time in a very long while I've really loaded any sort of neutral grip press heavy. And that's a lesson that I probably need to be reminded of. And even more, like going into this cut, I need to keep being more and more aware of my fatigue state, of how things are feeling, so that I don't keep catching dings as I get lighter and lighter and lighter, because I don't want to actually jack something up to the point where I'm getting in the way of training. So, I don't know. Point is, shit happens, and what matters more than stopping shit from ever happening is making sure that you have a good framework to make sure that the shit that does happen doesn't jack you up longer than it needs to. Also, Joel's back, but he's not going to walk in frame again. Has a shirt on this time, so it's less exciting. This thing feels really good.
My delts feel like they're gonna fucking
Still just a one.
Yeah. And on that note, the incline probably felt sketchier than the flat to start, but felt really freaking good by the end of that set. And like, I don't want to over dramatize this little twingy mabobber too much either. I just want to make sure that I'm talking about it so you guys know what the thought process is and why I'm doing what I'm doing. But I think the point that I'm trying to make here as the pump gets more and more immense is, hold on, we're going to finish the set. Is that 5 years ago, Seth probably would have had something this minor pop up, not change anything, run accessories as normal, run another set on the bench. And the thing about 5 years ago, Seth, versus today, Seth, is 5 years ago, Seth had to take a lot more time away from training because he wanted to push everything as hard as he could. Current Seth knows that if he scales things back, makes things feel good after a little bit of a mishap, his next week is going to be a-okay, like nothing ever happened. And we'll run one more here. Stop trying to talk shit during the set so I can just work. Yeah, these machines are sick. But I'm thinking with being limited in the amount of effort I can apply right now, gonna add an extra machine press slot so we can run the sickest of the presses. I'm actually kind of afraid with how gnarly the contraction is on this thing that it might feel too sketchy. So we're not gonna load her up too much today. Probably just gonna run like the butchered Maya rep protocol and blow things up nicely. I hate this thing so much because of how hard it gets so quickly. But just gonna take a couple breaths, recover a little bit, probably take my arms off, shake them out because we're very pumped. Okay, round 2. And it does feel like the littlest bit vulnerable in the bottom end here. So my intent with that is just squeeze in, squeeze out, try to make it less vulnerable as the sets progress. And we're just gonna shake her out again. That got so hard so quickly. That's what she said, Jesse. That is what she said. Man. Okay. Another one. Oh. And like that little bit of vulnerability, stretch sensation that I don't love, I'm trying to just like self-talk my way into being like, yep, feels good. We're okay. It's fine. Because it really is fine. Obviously, nothing bad is happening doing this. And it's only feeling better as we go until we die of pumpage. One more. This is getting gross. Okay, let's dig in. Yeah. I still can't get over how hard that machine was because, like, in the hands, it feels less aggressively loaded than everything else I've done so far, but then in the muscles, it's so much gnarlier. And I was playing with this machine between sets because I was really excited when I saw it because I thought I could make something cool work on it. And what I had in mind is definitely not an overhead press. This is a Dante Trudel thing that I remember seeing on an Instagram post like probably 8 years ago. But if you have one of these like pretty, I don't know what to call it, like levery overhead press machines, what you can try to do is really shove your elbow under, try to stack the handle right on top of the delts, drive elbow forward, kind of similar to a front squat, front rack position. And then you can get like a really sick vertical JM press and make it utterly disgusting on the triceps. And last week at Dragon's Lair, I ran a Smith jam in this slot, and I kind of wanted something machiny triceps to do, especially considering the bit of pec weirdness. And this is gonna accomplish that job for me. Yeah, that is so sick. Okay, schlappered another 10 on. So good. Probably a terrible camera angle, but works at number 2. And a couple extra there just to make sure I had angles right for the gram. But while I was doing that, I figured out why I'm fighting with white balance so hard in here. Because like those lights up there, super cold. Those lights over there, super warm. And then it's like a warm, cold, basically turning into a tornado on the camera sensor, which makes my life in Premiere Pro much more difficult. But making my life much more easier, we got cable triceps options this time around. And I will need the full stack because the stack isn't very heavy. I might actually go full stack, take this guy off, put this guy on, and run us a single arm stacked over top, kind of like a vertical JM in the opposite plane of motion. And this is letting me get some decent, probably more than decent work in with a limited weight machinima bobber. Might actually be able to drop that for set 2. Yeah, I'll lighten that up just a little bit. And like my goal here is in the bottom, trying to get my forearm approximately perpendicular with the cable. That way that the leverage on the forearm from the cable stack is maxed out in that lengthened position. And it makes it really, really, really gross to punch through out of that bottom. But that's why we're doing her. And it actually feels much more gnarly when I get my head up too. So I'm going to stop putting my head down. Wow, that's a bump. So good. Okay, last one. Head up. Not looking down like a dumbass. And I mean, I'm not trying to crane head up because that would be equally stupid, but basically just trying to keep a stack neutral throughout the whole spinema bobber, even though I am leaned forward. Because like you got to lean forward to compensate for the weight stack so you don't like push yourself backwards off of it. But that was an argument for another YouTube short where a guy was trying to tell me that leaning forward on a push down was cheating the push down. I don't know. People be silly, guys. And like maybe at this point of the diet, I just need to accept that I love chasing pumps and chase pumps because it feels good and doesn't hurt. And finally, sticking Joel in the camera frame. Look how saucy he's getting. Is he getting jacked? Comment below that Joel's really jacked. Also comment that Joel didn't get the memo to wear matching shirts today, apparently. Well, coulda, shoulda, woulda. They're going to be gone in 5 days. don't be like Joel. Make sure to order one of these before the end of day February 28th so you can get one, because once they're gone, they're gone. Wow, it's like you knew what we were going to say. Swear that wasn't scripted. Also, I feel like I need to point out that even though I was only using a plate on here, Joel's only using a plate and a quarter, so I wasn't being that much of a pussy, even with my kind of feel-good rehab protocol. Anyways, back to the pump chasing, and I have no idea if this will be good, but I want to try it, and I think like the feels so far feels very delty, so I think we're gonna run her. Just gonna bang out a bunch of reps here, go till it sucks, and then flick a little more onto the stack, but I need to stand up because I'm too immobile to reach it without standing up, I guess. Round 2. Probably gonna go round 3 at the same weight because that felt pretty heavy.
You like it better than that one?
I totally forgot about that one. I should go try that one next. Okay, round 3 here, and then we're gonna get real adventurous. Because over this way, they got the old Ronnie Coleman chain-loaded belt raise mobile. And I think my first impressions of this thing is, how in the hell did Ronnie fit into one of these? Second impressions are, my feet don't touch the floor. Third impressions, I don't know, it's old. Probably needs to be lubed up or something to feel right. So I'm gonna move on to something else. If I can get out. The Ronnie raise just feels very old and very poorly maintained.
I get that.
And Miana was saying this thing feels really nice, and I was unsure if it was just like a short person thing, but I think she might have been right. Yeah, I'm having fun. We need more weight though. And maybe it's just that I'm really weak from the stage of the diet right now, but I also think that I really like this notchless stuff compared to the hammer strength at the Good Life that I'm used to, because I don't need to stack like 17 plates on the thing to get to a adequate working weight. Because that gets so gross. Bring in a little more mental intensity to this set, because it kind of caught me off guard the last one, how heavy 2 plates felt. This might be my favorite back machine of all time right now. And to just make sure that pec is extra good to go, gonna jam it on this guy, not going Durrell mode, full stack quite yet with how she feels, but like not perfect, but much better than it would have felt earlier in the session. So desensitization work doing its thing, and we're just gonna go slow controlled, a little bit of stretch, make sure we're getting that serratus to catch through, and doing what is necessary to be able to press at least well enough on Thursday, and then hopefully act like nothing happened at all on Monday. I might run like a partial range of motion Monday for my main bench just to be on the cautious side, but other than that, not planning on needing to modify too much at this point. Oh yeah, we're getting the pump. And round 2, making sure this thing is, I don't know, I don't need to say that again. Round number 2. adequate enough for the intent of this slot. And we're gonna finish up with a little bit of rear delt roast in here. And I'm kind of regretting this choice because that prime row at Dragon's Lair, the pad was totally shittered and my rib cage still hurts from it. And even just like laying down on this without dumbbells probably would hurt. So I don't know. We'll be okay.
Yeah. Your shoulders look very uneven right now, by the way.
Well, they're uneven.
Okay.
It's fine.
Just thought you should know.
Yeah, seeing myself in the mirror, it's like,
Yeah.
got to pull a little harder with righty.
Yeah.
Ooh, and we're dying. Just gonna hang out here, watch Darrell do his pretty pullovers.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see the dumbbell in the corner of the frame.
Ooh.
Look how shiny it is.
It's very shiny. You can leave that out. I'll use it.
Yeah, you want this?
Yeah.
And we'll go again.
Only because you just did it.
Try to be less lopsided.
I would have stepped on your thighs, but got a log on you.
I have one over there.
I
I
know.
want you to feel that.
Let her hang. Are you okay?
I'm used to the thicker pad.
Oh no.
That scared the shit out of me.
Talking shit.
Yeah, I know. I was talking shit. That was like instant cardio. Imagine I actually.
And the current mission is now scanning around trying to find something fun I can use for abs. And if you guys remember the West Coast Iron episode of this vlog like a year ago, I think I found my candidate. And you might be thinking, Seth, how the hell are you going to do abs on a chest press? Well, just you wait. I really hope this doesn't flip over. Yeah, this will do the trick. I kind of wish that the seat was a little bit less angled. I might drop her down a hair, get a little more angle on her. No, that's worse. Never mind. Going back up. All the way up. And I get my butt a little closer to the edge too. Okay, that's the setup. So much hip extension length. So gross on the hip flexors in the bottom. Feels very reminiscent to the ELITEFTS GHR for running sit-ups on. Yeah, that worked. Okay, round two. That was a very non-assertive sounding K round two because the bottom position is very precarious feeling. Joel, you should try this. Feels like my insides are going to become my outsides. Oh. Very crampy now. Man, oh man. And still, obviously, not like, yay, my pec hurts, but very good session overall. And I think, like, post-tweakiness became quite the productive session as well because we got her feeling a lot better. We still got some good enough work in to carry me forward. Freaking love that vertical JM overhead extension, my bobber deal. And I think that as far as the pec goes, like plan is going to be to crank on some push-ups through a doorway, access the length, pushing through, progress down to full range push-ups on the floor, and do a shit ton of band flies at home. And I think if I nail that over the next couple of days, should be pretty damn good to go by Thursday. And if we're good to go by Thursday, all we got to do is make sure we keep her a little bit in the pocket, and we should be much better off next Monday than I was immediately after putting that bench back in the rack. So yeah, I don't know. Still not stoked, but again, this shit, it does happen from time to time. I think the biggest thing that I need to acknowledge with it is right now, it is a reminder that with the state of the calories, with the state of the diet, with the state of recovery, I probably do need to be a little bit more cautious on the size of jumps that I'm taking, just so that I'm not accidentally exposing myself to more weight than I'm prepared to handle, because the name of the game with injury risk reduction is just a matter of, are you prepared for the thing you're trying to do? And clearly I wasn't prepared for the thing I was trying to do on the weird little bar. So yeah, we will try to learn from this and improve. But again, like, it's hard to get perfect all the time, and it has been a very long stretch since I've had any sort of snaggle. So not worried about it. We're going to be okay, and we're going to keep making things as productive as possible as we continue working our way down to being very skinny. So guys, peace out. Have a good rest of your night. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you got something out of the sad loading on today's training session.